video. Um, Welcome back to another little mini chit chat video. So this is like my second live for the day. I don't usually do two lives in one day. But this one I had to go ahead and react to it as well because it's been something that's I wanted to do for a couple days, but I just wanted to wait for it to kind of all play out before I go ahead and started giving my reaction to it. Um, so I'm trying to hook up my mic here. I'm just gonna plug it in. Shout out to my Purple Heart members. You guys are always awesome. Thank you guys for all of your support in advance. Before we go ahead and get started, don't forget to like, comment. Yeah, before we go ahead and get started, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. So, you guys, I wanted to go ahead and talk about the whole Krishan Rock situation, family drama, and all of that. First of all, there's a reason why I waited so long to react to the whole Krishan Rock family situation. I saw a lot of T pages, reaction channels, giving their opinion, going in, talking about go get your baby and this and that, and commenting on the parenting and all that type of stuff. Just talking and talking and talking, without really giving it a chance for everything to come out. Kind of knew there was going to be more to the story. I hope you guys can hear me. I hope my mic is connected properly. So hopefully you can hear me. Um, if you can't hear me, let me know. But yeah, so I just wanted to go ahead and give my opinion on the whole situation now that she has the baby back and she went live. So I watched the live on one of my favorite channels that I like to keep up with everything on. So I was watching her live, really listening to what she had to say. And I know that, a lot of people, they don't really understand people like Krishan. They don't really understand that type of personality. So, they always come across misunderstood. But I watched the live and she was speaking very, clearly, and you can just really understand everything that she was saying. You could feel where she was coming from. You could tell that she was really, really scared, and you can tell that she was really happy to have her son back. What I will say is I'm happy that she called the police to go with her and get her son. I'm happy that she didn't give in to everything in her that told her to go up there and fight her sister and get her son. I'm glad that she listened to the person that told her to get the police involved and have them go with her to get her son. Um, for a couple of reasons. One, there is no way that anyone could frame her or say that she did this or charge her for this or that. If she went in there, banged down the door, broke down the door to get her son, they could literally do whatever to her because it's break and entering at that point. The homeowner could do whatever, charge her. And like she said in her live, which we already kind of already got a gist of, she said her sister is trigger happy, like she will pull the trigger, right? We already heard in her previous life, she kind of alluded to some legal situation going on with the brother. The brother is apparently allegedly going to be serving some time behind bars due to a family altercation. So you already see there is a history there. She knows what she's dealing with. People on the internet have so much to say about this stuff when you don't know the family dynamics, right? The sister, Tessa, said it best when she said, like, we all have mental illness. Like, we are all traumatized. There is some deep family trauma. I think we've all seen that now. There's some deep family trauma there, and they probably all need a good round of therapy, to be honest. And I'm pretty sure they would all agree. Maybe, maybe not. But that's just my opinion, right? That's just my opinion. They are in need of some serious family therapy. There's a lot of trauma there. From we've heard it from various sisters, not just one sibling. They seem to have all gone through some type of trauma. So that's why it's very important not to get too swept up in the family drama. We know that, they post their lives on the internet, but in this particular instance, there is a lot here to unpack. Like, there's a lot to unpack. Nobody should have to come with the police to your house to get their child. There's something wrong with that, especially from like a sibling, like an aunt or a family member, relative. Like, that's like never okay, right? What does the baby have to do with whatever is going on? You don't hold nobody's child hostage. And because people on the internet are so um they're so they view Krishan in a certain lens, like they view her a certain way. No matter what happens, they always view her in a certain lens. But let's just be for real. If anybody here dropped off their child to be babysat at a sibling family member's house, and then it's time to get your child back, and because of some argument or whatever happened, now your child is being held hostage, what would you do? What would you do? Most people's reaction would be to go to the sister's house and break the door down and get their child back, and whatever happens, happens. That's what a normal parent would do. That's a normal reaction. So I'm glad that cooler heads prevailed and she actually got the law involved. So now there's documentation to this incident, right? She also talked about the fact that allegedly her sister threatened her with CPS, telling her that CPS had the baby, she didn't have the baby, causing further trauma on her sister. Now she's freaking out. In the meanwhile, Krishan is saying she's on the phone with CPS because she already kind of knew where this is going. Like, again, they know who they're dealing with and her ammo. Everybody in their family have their particular ammo, their style of doing things, the way they go about things. Everybody's family is like that. Everybody has particular individuals within their family who is very tactical, who move a certain type of way. You know their ammo, you know how they're coming. So she was already prepared for the CPS threats and all of that. They've gone down this road before. So yeah, that was, taken care of and all of that. All in all, to say, right? Um, I think it's safe to say, like, in the black community, we don't use this word a lot. We don't use it a lot. The word dysfunctional families. Like, we've seen a couple of them over the years on these reality TV shows that BET used to put out, right? We don't have to point fingers and call names. We all know, we all watch them, right? This is like what dysfunctional is, right? um and the public needs to like understand this type of stuff, right? The fans are young, and a lot of them don't even understand what that means, dysfunctional, right? So they just see, okay, this is a hot mess, like the family's a hot mess. No, it's a dysfunctional family with deep trauma that hasn't been addressed or healed or talked about or any of that worked on, right? And this is what happens. This is the type of dysfunction. It's toxic, right? Siblings calling the police on each other, fighting each other, sending each other to jail, doing this, trying to hurt each other physically, mentally, emotionally, all type of stuff. This is what it looks like. And it's not something to be glorified, it's not something to be, idolized or anything like that, but it is something to understand. Because if you're going to support somebody as a fan base, you have to understand what it is that you're watching. It may look like a train wreck, but this is why. And it's because there's a lot of dysfunction there. and they've talked about it. Multiple siblings have talked about it, and that's why they talk about church so much and God so much, and that's why they're always trying to go to church. They understand about the energies and all that type of stuff. People really don't understand how this family and money and all that stuff, how that stuff works. When you add money and all of that to dysfunction, it never ends well, right? We saw it with and no disrespect to the deceased, we saw it with Whitney Houston, we saw it with Keisha Cole, we saw it with a lot of these families that struggle. We see it with Toya and Regine. A lot of these families that struggle with the fame and the finances and the entitlement. Krishan used that word earlier on in her live where she said she's sick and tired of her sister feeling entitled to what she has, right? Having her as a constant ATM. These are things that people don't put in their live when they go live and they do their, character assassination and they say this and that. It's easy to get online and bash somebody who's always being bashed because people will believe anything bad. Anything bad at all, they'll believe. As soon as this girl tried to move on with her life, do something positive, you know, people have all these opinions about Binu and all this other stuff. Like, they don't focus on the positive. The fact that he tries to keep her out of trouble. Yeah, they're goofy together. They're not bothering anybody. They're having fun, this and this and that. He tries to keep her focus on getting to her money. Stay focused. Don't get drawn in, sucked in to the internet drama. That's what they want. They want you to crash out. They want you to run up to your sister's house, kick down the door, fight your brother, fight your sister, have your sister charge you. They want CPS to take your kid. They literally want that so that they can feel justified in bashing you, your parenting, your mothering, everything that you do. They will feel justified in doing that. But that's just what the internet does, right? So I say all of this to say that I'm so glad that there's cooler heads around her now, people who are able to talk her down off the ledge, people who are able to show her the consequences if you go down this particular route versus if you do this. Just do this. This is smarter business wise, it's smarter legal wise, it's smarter. You just got off all that charges and all that. You just came out of jail. You trying to get your life back. You don't need for nobody to tempt you into throwing that all away by causing you to backslide into the destructive behavior. So, yes, call the police. Let the internet say you're afraid and you don't da da da. You know that it's a legal matter. You know that it's a professional matter. You know that it's the smart thing to do. That's what people with money do. You don't fight nobody physically. You don't touch nobody so they can sue you, lock you up, take your money, take your freedom. You don't do that. You call the police and you have them do their job. That's it. Very simple. And yeah, that's that on that. So yeah, I'm just glad everything worked out, and I hope and pray that this mic is actually recording and you guys heard everything. I did say leave a comment down below if you can't hear me. I don't see anything. So I'm going to assume that you guys could hear me. And hopefully you can because I've been talking for such a long time. I would hate to have to do this all over. But yeah, let me know what you guys think down below. And thank you guys so much for those of you who came through. And we'll catch up with you guys in another video. Deuces.